سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The chapter we're covering today, a few of the ahadith inshallah, and there's going to be some nice ahkam in it related as well. The chapter on compassion, mulatafa, compassion towards orphans, girls, the weak, the destitute, the brokenhearted, doing good to them, being compassionate towards them, being humble and down to earth with them. Very, very beautiful chapter that we all need to hear and practice in our lives. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَاخْفِضْ جَنَاحَكَ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. What does that mean? خَفْضُ الْجِنَاح. وَاخْفِضْ جَنَاحَكَ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. There's another ayah that's similar to it about the parents. وَاخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الذُّلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. Lowering the wings. This is an example that they use in Arabic language, means lowering your wings, right? When the bird comes down, what does it do? It lowers its wings. So same thing, it's an example that they use for mercy, being kind, being soft, being low, being humble, right? So lower your wings towards the believers. Lower your wings towards the believers. MashaAllah, some you like to come like this. Lower your wings for the believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He also says, وَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ بِالْغَدَاةِ وَالْعَشِيِّ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ وَلَا تَعْدُ عَيْنَاكَ عَنْهُمْ تُرِيدُ زِينَةَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. This is Surah Al-Kahf, we covered it. It's right before the story of Sahib al-Jannatain, the man with the two Jannahs. It's the ayat revealed right before. Is it because of this, perhaps? I don't know what the feedback is coming. Allah alam. Because there's too many mics all within one small vicinity, so it makes it challenging. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, okay, we'll go over the hadith, but I'll just say, restrain yourself with those who supplicate to their sustainer morning and evening. Ya Rasulullah, be patient with the poor Sahaba who are with you all the time, morning and evening, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing it with ikhlas. Yuriduna wajha, seeking Allah's pleasure, and do not divert your attention from them. Similar to Abasa wa Tawalla, with the attention of acquiring the adornment of this worldly life. Okay, and this is the next verse that the Shaykh Imam al-Nawawi mentions. فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. In the recitation of Ibn Mas'ud or the tafsir, Allahu a'lam, تَكْهَرْ with a kaf, which means that don't look at him like, don't look at the yatim and make him feel like you're disgusted by them. Okay, there's a lot to say about the yatim. Do not be harsh on the orphan, and do not drive away the beggar. You know, the Prophet ﷺ, he said that if you have one of the Sahaba complained, Ya Rasulullah, I have a hard heart. I can't feel, you know. So what did Rasulullah tell him? What was the advice? He said, wipe the head of the yatim. Allah. He said, put your hand over the head of a yatim. Meaning, like, put yourself in his shoes. Look at this miskeen. He doesn't have a father to look after him. He doesn't have anyone to take care of him. Right?
No shelter.
No one to look after him, no one to take care of him. An orphan is what in Islam? The one who doesn't have a father. He can have a mother, but he'd still be an orphan child in Islam. He'd still be a yatim. Okay? So the one who doesn't have a father, and it's not just someone who doesn't have a father because the father passed away. Sometimes father figures don't even exist in the lives of many children, especially if you go to some communities more so than others. It happens very frequent. Or let's say the parents split up and the child has no father figure in his life. So those children, especially if you give them special love and attention, wallahi, even just putting your hand over their head, the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, for every hair that your hand passes over, is one hasanah. How much hair is on the human head? On the head of a small boy or a small girl. How much hasanat would a person attain? Qatada, he said, one of the scholars, he said, Kun lil yatim kal abir rahim. Be for the yatim like a merciful father. You know, be towards the yatim like a merciful father. And as for the one who asks, you know, and do not drive away the beggar. Okay, don't push them away. Can you, if someone, let's say, is asking on the street, for money. And you're questionable, where is this guy gonna do with the money? Nowadays we see, let's be honest, like crackheads, people who are alcoholics, this, that. Sometimes you don't know what they're gonna do with that money. Probably they're gonna buy a meal, Allahu A'lam. But a lot of the times, what do? They end up buying some more cigarettes, more this, more that, more this. This is what they do. They literally sometimes even tell you straight to, yeah, I'm gonna buy more stuff. Can you refuse to give them? You can refuse to give. You should give them, because only Allah knows, and you're dealing with Allah here. You're not dealing with them. Can you refuse to give them? You have the right, yes or no? Yes. You have the right. How should you refuse them though? Because sometimes people, they like do it very harshly. Get out of my face, man. Get out of my face, man. No, what are you doing? Or like let's say someone comes out their window, when you park, when you go at the red light, and they're asking. Some people don't even have they're just very rude in their response, and don't do like that. فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. Don't be someone who pushes them away, drives them away with kibr, and be nice to them. This is a beggar at the end of the day. If you can't give, then at least be latif in the way you refuse. The next ayah that the Shaykh mentions, Imam Nawawi, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدُعُّ الْيَتِيمَ وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ. Have you not seen the one who denies ad-deen, the day of judgment, as the scholars interpret? He is the one who drives away the orphan and does not encourage feeding of the poor. He drives away the orphan and he does not even encourage others to give, let alone himself. He does not encourage others to give. There's a lot to say about the yatim. There's a lot to say about, especially the yatim, wallahi. We'll go into the hadith and we'll go further into it, inshallah. The hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sallu alayhi, Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas, he narrates that we were a group of 6 people with the Sahaba with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When the mushrikun, they came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who were the Muslims? Were they the poor and wealthy, or were they the poor or the wealthy, the Muslims? I think it's the feedback from this, and perhaps that one as well. Wallahu a'lam. We'll figure it out. Yes, were the Sahaba the poor and the needy, or the rich? The poor, right? The poor and the needy? I think it should be better now, right? Yeah, it's definitely feedback. Yeah, it's off. Yeah. Just in case. Okay, so the polytheists, they said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, get rid of these people so they do not have the courage to oppose us. Ya Rasul, get rid of them. Then we'll come to you, Ya Rasul. Then we'll accept Islam. We want this to be a religion of all the rich people, the wealthy. And then the 6 of us were myself, Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas, Ibn Mas'ud, he was one of the four companions, a man from a tribe, Bilal, and 2 others, whom I do not wish to name, but they were Abu Bakr and Ali radiallahu anhuma. Thoughts then came to the mind of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam according to the will of Allah Azza wa Jalla. He began thinking to himself, how can I? Because I know if I reject if I make a specific majlis for these people, will the Sahaba get mad? Will they get mad? No, because their iman was so strong that they know Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is only doing it to call them to Islam. But even still, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made sure, and he instilled this point in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and revealed the verse, وَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ. Be patient with those people that are with you, Ya Rasulullah, day and night, remembering Allah Azza wa Jal. And don't look away from them with wanting the adornment of the dunya. You see? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a few points that the Sharif mentioned. He said one should adopt the company of the humble and the downtrodden who remember Allah Azza wa Jal and who engage in His worship. And the best people I have seen in terms of this, I always say this statement, is Jama'at al-Tabligh. You'll find on one dastarkhan in Jama'at al-Tabligh, wallahi, you'll find someone who is a heart surgeon, and next to him is a simple man. And they're eating, and you can't even tell the difference between them. And so, sit humbly with everyone. The Prophet ﷺ, he would eat, and he was a faqih himself, but he would eat with the fuqara. Some people, I can't, ask yourself, have you ever sat with a poor person and shared a meal? Have you ever sat with a working class person and shared a meal? Like when you go overseas and you see all those people that are the Pakistanis, the Bengalis, the Filipinos, all of that are working. Those people, wallahi, can you even imagine sitting and eating and sharing a meal with the Arabs and this is that? Can you see this? I have never seen it yet. I have never seen it. If they eat, maybe they'll have a bag of rice on the side. Wallahi, that's what they do. You see? And there's a beautiful, not lines of poetry, but it's a small in the sheet. It's like 20 seconds long. I'm going to play it for you all. This one. ما لذة العيش. Okay, we'll do it together, inshallah. العيش إلا صحبة الفقراء هم
السلاطين والسادة والأمراء فاصحبهم وتأدب في مجالسهم وخل حظك مهما قدموك
ما لذة العيش إلا صحبة الفقراء هم السلاطين والسادات والأمراء فاصحبهم وتأدب في مجالسهم وخلي حظك مهما قدموك وراء. Very, very beautiful lines. That talks about, the beauty of living is in when you spend time with fuqara and simple people and humble people. Subhanallah. And usually, fuqara, when scholars, when they say fuqara, and when you read in their books, when they say fuqara, they actually mean scholars. That when they say al-fuqara, that actually means al-ulama. Because of how frequent it was for the scholars to be fuqara, they just started calling ulama fuqara. قال الفقراء يعني قال العلماء. Okay, the poor and weak were the first to embrace Islam, of course. It is compulsory to honor the pious, and harming or harboring enmity towards them draws the anger of Allah Azza wa Jal. The next hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Sufyan, who knows Abu Sufyan, who he was, and his status amongst Quraysh. Abu Sufyan, he was not a Muslim yet, okay? He passed by Salman radiallahu an, Suhaib and Bilal radiallahu anhum jami'an, who were sitting in a group with some of the other Sahaba, okay? And they said, the swords of Allah Azza wa Jal have not taken their due right from the enemy of Allah. They're talking about who? Abu Sufyan, he's not accepted Islam yet. Abu Bakr radiallahu an, he said, do you make such a statement to a leader and senior Sayyid of Quraysh? How could you say this to a senior leader? يعني احترمه. And the reason why is he doing this? Abu Sufyan, so that he can have a hard heart towards Islam, so that he has a door is still open for him. تعال عندنا بالإسلام, So Abu Bakr, he did this out of wisdom. He went to the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr, and he told him what happened. He said, Abu Bakr, perhaps you displeased them. Perhaps you made them angry. And if you displeased them, then you displeased Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah. He connected the displeasure of those poor Sahaba, but they were awliya of Allah Azza wa Jalla. They were connected to him to the displeasure of Allah Azza wa Jalla. If you made them angry, be careful. You might make Allah angry. Again, if you might make those people angry, you might make Allah Azza wa Jalla angry because of their connection to him. And so he went to them and he said, oh my brothers, have I displeased you? Have I angered you? They said, no. May Allah forgive you, O our, ukhay, our little brother, basically, like in a loving way. May Allah forgive you, our little brother. But the way they said it, لا يغفر الله لك يا أخي. لا, comma, يغفر الله. La, no, may Allah have forgiveness upon you. But the scholars say that when you say لا يغفر الله لك, they say you should add a wow. لا ويغفر الله. No, and may Allah forgive you. Because if you say no, Allah forgive you, it might sound like may Allah not forgive you. In Arabic at least. So لا ويغفر الله لك. Some scholars mention that. The next hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sallu alayhi. We'll cover two more and then we'll end there. بإذن الله تعالى. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, أنا وكافل اليتيم في الجنة هكذا. He said, myself and the one who takes care of the orphan are like this on the day of judgment. Are like this in Jannah, inshallah. In the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What does it mean to take care of the orphan? What does it mean, kafala of the yatim? Okay, one of the names of Allah is al-kafil, al-wakil, right? What does it mean to take care of the orphan? It doesn't mean just to sponsor with money, okay? Sometimes that even means becoming, and this depends scenario to scenario, even taking a fatherly role and figure in the lives of some of these people, because they need mentorship, they need love, they need guidance as well, right? So it's not enough, they also need tarbiyah. Sometimes, because the yatim has no one to take care of, no parents, no nothing, they have no tarbiyah whatsoever. unless they have a righteous mother, the mother's taking care. But other than that, if they don't have, especially if they don't have a strong fatherly figure, you'll find that these young men who don't have fatherly figures, they're like left to right, Allahu Alam, they're not really strong. They don't have strong personalities, they're very weak. They're very easily broken sometimes. So they need that fatherly mentorship, the love. It doesn't have to come directly from a biological father, but even a person like this hadith, the one who takes care of the orphan. So if we ever see in our own masjid, you don't have to say it, but if you know a child whose father isn't in their lives, you know that something's going on behind the scenes that you know, have some extra care for this child, because all these other children will have parents when they go home, and will have a nice meal and mom tucking them in and dad kissing them, if it's a good family, inshallah. But the one who doesn't have it, he doesn't have a father to look after. So especially to give attention and love to those types of children. The next hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, we'll cover just two more, okay? ليس الساعي على الأرملة والمسكين كالمجاهد في سبيل الله وكالقائم الذي لا يفطر وكالصائم الذي لا يفطر. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, one who sees to the needs of the widows and the needy is like a mujahid in the path of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Why did the Rasulullah ﷺ compare the one who takes care of the widow like the mujahid? Because the mujahid, he's going against his nafs. So the one who is taking care of the widow, shaitan might come to him. So he has to be careful as well, right? Shaitan might come to him in any different ways, you know. So the one who takes care of the widows and who takes care basically of women who you know are not in a position to financially fend and take care of themselves, right? I think other Muslim communities, like at least in Dallas and different places, I've noticed that they even have like shelters for just women. Because think about it, a woman who, our generation is a little bit different because girls, they get degrees, they get jobs, so they can fend for themselves if anything happens, which is a good safety net to have, of course, especially as fathers who are concerned of their daughters. But let's say a woman who doesn't have that education, who doesn't have that background, doesn't have it, which is the case for many, gets married, the man is a zalim, he's an oppressor, he marries her, he abuses his role, and then where does he leave her? He leaves her to the streets. Where is she going to go? So there have to be designated budgets from the overall community to take care of women that are in situations like this. And then inshallah they'll fall under this hadith. They will be like the mujahid in the path of Allah, and they will be like the one who continuously spend the night in worship and the one who are constantly fasting. This last hadith, and we'll end here بإذن الله تعالى. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam صلوا عليه, he said the worst food شر الطعام طعام الوليمة يمنعها من يأتيها ويدعى عليها من يأباها ومن لم يجب الدعوة فقد عصى الله ورسوله. Hadith in Sahih Muslim. The worst type of food in terms of ajr and in terms of barakah is that of a walima in which those who need to attend are prevented from joining it. Who? The poor, the lesser, the lower class. And those who refuse to attend are invited to it. Meaning you're inviting people that are, mashallah, so wealthy, so rich, they don't even care to come. The people that you should be inviting, the ones you see all the time. For example, you come to the masjid, you see all these people all the time, you don't want to invite them. Who are these people? I'm only going to invite the doctors and the millionaires. And this is, especially in the Desi community, this happens a lot. Weddings especially, they only invite the very, very wealthy people. You never see low class or normal living people on normal wages. They always invite the wealthy. This always happens in Desi families. I've seen it myself. And so the Prophet, he said the worst type of food is that type of food. That is served in a walima where poor people are not invited, but the rich are. And the Prophet, he then said a hukum, this is a hukum. One who does not accept an invitation has disobeyed Allah and His Messenger. One who does not accept an invitation has disobeyed Allah and His Messenger. So now we'll go into some of the rulings, okay? What is the ruling on attending a walima? Wajib. Walima, you have to attend, okay? Walima, which is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, okay, which a person does after, unless you have a valid excuse. But other than that, should you attend a walima, yes or no? Yes. Other invitations, majority of the scholars, they say it's not an obligation. But you should attend. Because you're trying to facilitate close ties and this, that. So it's good for you to attend and socialize and bring closer bonds between people. The Zahiri madhab, because they take from the apparent meaning of this hadith that whoever does not accept an invitation, and walima was not specified here, has disobeyed Allah and His Messenger. So they said, no, every invitation you have to attend. Okay? That might be too hard, but you try your best to attend all, especially when it comes to walimas. Now I have another question. Let's say you're invited to a wedding, and you know there are going to be things that are against Islam. Dancing, music, kaza, things happen. Can you attend, yes or no?
My personal opinion, myself, no.
The scholars, majority of them, they say it's not permissible. Because you know that there's something haram that is going to be happening at that function. But you can also mitigate. Like you go in a time where you know it'll be fine. This is that. In the opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa, and there's a lot of details in this issue, he says it is permissible. That you can attend such gatherings. Think about it. You have a family member. I myself go to this wedding. They have the dandiya, the this, that. I'm going to tell them, khalas, I'm not attending your weddings. I'm the sheikh. I have amama on my head, you know. I have the topi on my head. I cannot come. Nobody's there to do the nikah. Right? So again, I like the opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa, where he says there is permissibility. Again, a person should be cautious and should be mindful of these things. But Imam Abu Hanifa also adds that if a person is a well-known scholar, then they should not attend. When they're a well-known scholar, they should not attend, and they should not put themselves in such a shady place, like in a gray area type place. Why? Because then the average person will see, oh look, Sheikh Junaid is there. Look, Sheikh Junaid is sitting in the party and the dancing is happening. And then they're gonna use it as proof. They're gonna be like,
because in Arab culture, they have some kind of music and some kind of tap dance, So
yes.
Is it permissible? Or?
Yeah, that's of course. Yeah, you're talking about dabka?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Men amongst men, طبعا, of course. Men amongst men. No, that of course. I mean,
No, but even if it's, that's also music, right?
you're talking about dabka that happens between circles of men, only men, no women, and then there's music.
Yeah, there will be some drums and stuff.
If it's just the duff, that's permissible. But if it's the other music that they do, like I said, music, although the majority opinion is that it's impermissible, you have some scholars that validate the usage of certain instruments, and usually that's very traditional, very cultural. It's not like rap music, this, that. So there is, you can't just say, it's haram, stay away from it, kada. If you personally feel uncomfortable in a situation like that, and you want to live bil-ahwat, bil-hazm, then you don't put yourself in a situation like that. But if, I know many imams that go to tabkas like this as well.
So, if anything is the man, woman together, then you not do the haram?
No, so that's what I'm saying. If there's something haram that you know is going to happen at the wedding, let's say it's a mixed wedding, okay? And women are going to be dressed up like this and that, and there's going to be perhaps dancing, and there's going to, and you're against music, and you say, which is the opinion of the vast majority. Can you attend? According to Imam Abu Hanifa, yes, but you should also be careful. If there are ways where you can mitigate that, and you know that there is a time where they're going to be dancing, you leave the hall, then you leave the hall. You be there when there's food and they're chilling and they're relaxing. When it comes down time to dancing, you leave. So you're in between. You also don't want to cut ties between families. Let's say majority of families, how do they celebrate weddings? Reading dhikr, riyad salihin? No, of course not. There's going to be dancing. There's going to be damadam, all this stuff that they do. So
It's not all the time.
It's not.
The time.
Yeah.
Time you can keep on.
Yes. But again, for the lay person, there's more flexibility. But for the scholar and the person who is in a position of religious leadership, then they have to be even more careful, because people's eyes, whether they like it or not, will be on that person, and they will make a ruling of Islam based on the person's actions. So let's say, oh, he's there, khalas, it's permissible. Then if Sheikh is here, look, Sheikh is here. Why are you telling me not to be here? Sheikh is here. So that's why they have to be even more careful. Barakallahu feekum wa sallallahu ala nabina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum. Any questions, comments related to? Yeah. Yes. That's what I'm saying. You should not assume. You should not assume, because only Allah knows what He truly needs and what He's truly going to do with that wealth. I would say even give $1 if you have. Sadly, we don't carry dollars in our pocket.